It's a beautiful evening for the beautiful game. We welcome you to Windy Tap Stadium in Oklahoma City for this USL Championship matchup between the OKC Energy and Sporting KC2. And Energy FC would like to thank SSM Health St. Anthony for being the official healthcare partner and team docs for the Energy FC. For 121 years, SSM Health St. Anthony has been ready to help and heal patients across OKC. Joined by the great keeper, Gary Bailey, I'm Dave Lamont. And Gary, we look at the table here, and OKC had been in the 8th spot, but they picked up their first win of the season, and they are not out of the playoff chase yet.
No, both teams, if you look at them, a win would take them to 10 points. That's just 2 points behind FC Tulsa in that 4th playoff spot. But they will have played a couple of games extra, either OKC or Sporting Kansas City too. So not only do they need a win, they need to keep on winning to see if they can get themselves into that top 4.
Well, we're going to see one of the more dangerous players on either side tonight for Sporting Kansas City in this man here, Enoch Meshugalusa, 3 goals already on the season.
He's a phenomenal player. This was a shot against Indy that hit the bar, but he also scored a goal. It's his pace, incredible pace. Leaves players for their cuts inside here on his right foot, sticks it into the corner. I mean, he's a threat throughout this game and in other previous games. He's a player in magnificent form at the moment.
On the other side, he'll be going after a player who probably saved OKC in the second half against Memphis. That's the goalkeeper, CJ Cochran, picked up his 2nd clean sheet of the season. Yeah,
7 saves in that game, which got him onto the USL Team of the Week. He made a double save from Dakers and a brilliant point-blank save from Kisadu, a header from all of 4 yards out. CJ Cochran was absolutely brilliant last game, and his fans will be hoping for more today.
So can OKC make it 2 straight victories, taking on a team they drew with earlier in May? But Sporting Kansas City, too, they do have some players on loan from Sporting KC, so this ought to be a very intense match on the tight pitch at Taft between Sporting KC2 and OKC Energy.
Goals are something we outline for ourselves, and oftentimes they can be pretty lofty. When things begin to line up the way we think they should, we appreciate those who helped us along the way, like the help you get with commercial banking from FFB. Our experts are ready to partner with you to help you manage cash flow, oversee accounts through online banking, and help you secure a business line of credit. Because we know you've got better things to do, like grow your business. FFB. We go where you go.
You deserve something sweet, like Brahms' new Fancy Sundaes. The sticky bun has the perfect hint of cinnamon, topped with smooth, hot caramel and pecans. There's the undeniably delicious cocoa banana ice cream covered in hot fudge and slices of banana. And who could resist 2 scoops of white chocolate strawberry tart filled with pound cake and more strawberries? Or French chocolate macaroon with marshmallow atop Brahms' freshly baked macaroon cookies. Try one or all 4 at Brahms, because you deserve it.
I'd always wanted to get braces, always considered it, thought about it. You know, how long is this gonna take? Am I too old to do this? What am I gonna look like with braces on? With payment options and everything else, nothing's hindering me now, I just need to go ahead and do it. The staff, for one, is awesome. The doctor's great. I know I had friends growing up saying, oh, it hurts. I didn't have that experience. I can't wait to see my teeth without being masked by wires, right? Hindsight, I would have done it again 100 times over.
And since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit SelectSportAmerica.com. The officials have arrived, and let's take a look at our lineups, brought to you by First Fidelity Bank. And, of course, for Sporting KC, Gary, the big challenge is who's available.
Yeah, well, they've made 3 changes from the team that lost 2-1 to Indy 11. Thompson comes in goals for John Pulskamp, who I thought was absolutely brilliant in the last game, so that's an important change. Graham Smith at centre-back for Matt Constant, and Peter Kuich for Jaden Rod in midfield. So, yeah, it's 3 important changes, but up front, 2 fantastic goal scorers in Meshugalusa And Freeman, Musha Galusa 3 in the last 3 matches. Freeman with a couple in a previous game recently. So 2 of them are both in fantastic form.
And for OKC, Lee Veidman telling us, you know, I'm not going to mess with success. They're coming off a win, but they do have one change they had to make. Rob Coronado out after 2 yellow cards, so Sam Rogers slides in, number 5.
Yeah, and your point's very well taken. I mean, if you got your first win for a long time, you don't go changing the team. BJF 2 goals in 2 games. He's on form. Lopez has been scoring goals. The rest is a really hard-working 4 across the middle.
Our referee is Greg Dopka. And while we're waiting for this game to begin, let's go ahead and take a look at our keys to the game, brought to you by OKC Volkswagen. Gary, what do you identify as what these teams have to do?
Well, for OKC, they're at home. Taft is a smaller ground. They want to be defensively tight. They say that it's they play better at home on a tight pitch. They know it well. And for Sporting Kansas City, well, again, given the form that Musha Galusa is and some of the goals he's scored, I mean, they're top quality. You'd think you'd want to get the ball to him and to Tyler Freeman as quickly as possible. When you've got 2 great strikers in form, give them as much service as you possibly can.
Now, one other thing for those of you who are watching on a device someplace, we could tell you that it's very windy at Taft tonight, and the wind is blowing from right to left in your device. So the wind will be at the back of Sporting KC in the light blue kits, and the greens in the green and white stripes. You see Davis, and that's going to go off to, and Cochran will end up handling that as well, as Davis was trying to get the feed over to Roger Smith, number 44. You take a look at Cochran, part of the USL Team of the Week for his clean sheet and a brilliant one against Memphis, because the second half was Memphis spending a lot of time in the OKC defensive end.
Yeah, and amongst those saves, and often you can make 7 saves and they're like pretty standard saves. He made 2 super ones, a double save from Dakers. But then there was a header from Kisadu from 4 yards out with power, and he tips it onto the crossbar. I mean, absolutely brilliant from CJ. So really looking forward to him playing again this evening to see whether he can repeat some of those performances.
Just to add to the weather, in addition to the wind, it's a warm evening, of course, in the high 80s, so we will have a mandated hydration break around the 30-minute mark in the first half. And trying to get it into Roger Smith, and that's going to be a wicked shot that's going to be way high and out of play, and we'll get a goal kick for Cochran. Take a look at our injury report brought to us by SSM Health St. Anthony's, and none for OKC reported. Mensah and Sousa not available tonight for Sporting KC, and their head coach in his 4th year, Paulo Nagamura. So Gary, let's talk for a second now. We've got Cochran in this wind in his face in this half. Will he end up passing the ball more, throwing the pass, as opposed to a boot when he has the option?
A lot will depend on how his team want to play out from the back. Sometimes if you do try and play it out, you get high pressed, and that can lead to turnover ball. I always think early on to do exactly what he did. Get the ball out, get it up, play in the opponent's half. But in terms of the wind, you know what? Sometimes when the wind's with you, it makes you feel better. You can kick it longer, but then sometimes it runs through. So it really is up to you whether it's a bonus or not, playing with or against the wind. As a goalkeeper, I love playing with the wind because I could boot it down the pitch, get it far away from my goal.
So OKC didn't get the positioning on the throw-in they wanted, and they ended up throwing it back into their back half to Connor Donovan, number 20, in the stripes, who's the captain again tonight for OKC. The captain will be Christian Duke, a former OKC Energy player. As a matter of fact, when the Energy birthed the franchise, Christian Duke was part of that group. And back at young Brooks Thompson, just 19 years old. He was signed at 16 and actually played rather well last year. This is just his 2nd appearance in between the sticks. And an offside call there.
Now you're talking about Brooks Thompson being 19 years of age, but he is one of 5 teenagers in the Sporting Kansas City side. So credit there to Paulo Nagamura. He's bringing through the talent, but when they're that young, It's very difficult to come up against what I would look at as a fairly mature OKC Energy side, all mid to late 20s. It's going to be tough for those youngsters in Sporting KC.
See what Cochran's strategy here is just to play it along the ground. Again, the Greens operating tonight without Rob Coronado, who drew 2 yellow cards, the last one in the 90th minute in the second half, and the Energy had to withstand about 6 minutes, one man shy in holding off Memphis for their first win of the year. The last time out for Sporting KC was a loss to Indy 11 at 2-1. Bijev trying to get it into Frankie Lopez, could not.
He's a big loss, Coronado. Such a good player down that left-hand side. And look, it's a big challenge for Sam Rogers today to see what he can do there. But Coronado, they'll be very happy to get him back eventually.
Zach Ellis-Hayden playing very well up that right back position. Canada native.
It was his cross for the goal that Bijev scored last week in that win, that much valued win over Memphis. Wonderful whip in the 18th minute from Zach Ellis-Hayden, and Bijev managed to get ahead on it at the far post.
And Thompson a little forechecking as Lopez races around, putting some pressure on. This could be dangerous here. This is Smith. Looking for Meshugalusa, but he gets a little help here from Freeman. Freeman's got 3 goals on the year. Inside the 18, a shot is ineffective off the foot of Jake Davis.
It's a positive effort there from Jake Davis. You know, it was a little bit wide, but it shows the intention. This team want to get at the opponents. Only 19 years of age, Jake Davis, so good to see that he has the belief in his own abilities to have a dip at goal.
That's going to be a throw-in coming up here for Sporting KC 2. 1-5-4 Sporting KC 2. The Energy 1-4-4, and they met back in May. Second game of the season for both. It was a 1-1 draw.
I think we have to say with that, one's bottom, one's second bottom. So this is a very important game. Early on in the season, you can laugh off these positions and go, well, we've got plenty of time to recover. But as the season moves on, you don't want to get left too far off those playoff places. And a win for either side, as we mentioned at the beginning, will only put them 2 points off a playoff spot. So 2 points you can make up. That's why 3 points today is absolutely vital.
And you can see a pretty obvious foul there by Kuich. And a free kick coming up. And a little sportsmanship. I don't think he meant that. The referee agreed. Lopez was taken down. Does playing into the wind affect your set pieces very much?
Yeah, it can do, because you can whip them in with a little bit of height on them, and the wind will take it away from the goalkeeper. And that's what I used to hate. You start coming up for a cross, and the wind takes it away from you, and you just don't ever get there, and that leaves you very vulnerable. So yeah, as I said, sometimes the wind can help you, sometimes not. I just get on with the game and play, because you're going to have it going the other way in the second half, aren't you?
Freeman with a great run. Drops it off nicely here. Opportunity. Cochran comes up big with a leg save off the shot from Smith. Kept it in play. Meshugalusa, he'll fire. And it's going to be stopped by the back line and cleared away. So Cochran staying hot. And we're going to have a flag up there.
We asked the question, didn't we, at the beginning, will CJ continue from the last match? Well, he has. That's an absolutely crucial save. Lovely bit of play here that comes through to Roger Smith. And it's against the goalkeeper's body. That's because the goalkeeper's made himself really big. Could we be critical of Roger and say he should have bent it around the keeper? Yeah, perhaps. But when you're as good as CJ is, it makes it very difficult for you.
Here's Barbier. And Meshugalusa. Cleared but not out, and that's not going to do anything but lead to a goal kick. Energy FC would like to thank SSM Health St. Anthony for being the official healthcare partner, and Team Docs for the Energy FC. For 121 years, SSM Health St. Anthony has been ready to help and heal patients across OKC. You see that one hanging in the air quite a bit.
Exactly. It's very hard to get distance against that wind. But what it does, by hanging up, it makes it difficult maybe for center backs because they come over the top of strikers that give away fouls. Like I say, there's pros and cons to all of these. You just got to make the best of it and not worry too much.
Long pass again, trying to get it to Roger Smith, and it's going to be marked away very nicely by the Greens. And you can hear that wind in our on-field microphones. It's blowing again right to left, averaging about 18 to 20 miles an hour.
Well, Dave, I've got to tell you, it's one thing having the wind, but in Manchester, when it's freezing cold and it's wet and it's windy, that's when it's not fun.
Collision and tremendous effort there by Ellis Hayden to hang on to the ball. Was able to actually work it through a couple of defenders. OKC is going to be called for the little bit of a push by Sulovic that time, a little handsy, and it'll belong to Sporting KC 2. Take a look at Jankic, Slovenian. All eyes on 77 in the blue, and there's a steal and an opportunity here now for OKC. Bijev, and fought off the ball very nicely that time by Jankic. However, an opportunity coming up here for OKC. And our first corner kick of the match. It's brought to you by Little Caesars. And I would watch here maybe for number 5, Rogers, to come down. Big body. There he is at 6'4".
It's important for goalkeeper Brooks Thompson to be positive here. Conceded 4 against FC Tulsa recently. He'll want a good match today.
Hayden Daniels goes inside. It's going to be headed off the line that time. And that drove Mitch Osmond back a little ways to try to get it back in, and the call will go in favor of the Energy. And Daniels will get the reset started. And the veteran Englishman, Charlie Ward, there with a beard, number 14, had it for the moment. See Graham Smith working center backs with Jankic. Best chance so far of this match a couple of minutes ago, and a point blank shot by Roger Smith. It was rejected by the left foot of CJ Cochran. His 26th save of the season.
And those saves are so important, Dave, because if that goes in, you're 1-0 down. You know, you got to start chasing the game a little bit. When a goalkeeper comes up with those sort of saves, as John Poolskamp did in the last match for Sporting Kansas City, you can build on that as a team. You can be confident that even if you do slip up at the back, there's a good chance your keeper will make the save.
A chance here for Mashugalusa. He's waiting for help, but he also attracted quite a lot of defense.
I wonder why. Maybe they've seen his last couple of goals.
Wow. And intercepted there by Ellis Hayden. And that's a bit of a push in the back, and unfortunately got an OKC player shaken up. And that's Frankie Lopez. Got a couple of goals for the Energy.
It's the second knock he's taken in these opening minutes. He's not happy with Jankic there. And he's drawn the referee's attention to it, which puts the big centre back under a little bit of pressure. There's a stand on the toe, you can see it, and that's never a pleasant thing.
Well, the one thing I'm curious to see tonight is without Coronado, and you mentioned his attack down the left-hand side, how OKC will try to compensate for that. You know, can Rogers do it? Will they ask someone else to step in? We're seeing quite a bit of work out of Aiden Daniels already, number 13.
Yep, that's a very good question, but they can bomb down that right-hand side with Zach Ellis Hayden. but so far they seem to be able and comfortable to go down both left and right channels.
Looking for their first really good opportunity, and that perhaps a miscommunication, and that is not going to be one of those great opportunities. Real hand-dipped ice cream, thick milkshakes, old-fashioned banana splits, and sundaes, all made with farm fresh milk. Brahms is proud to be part of your family's tradition. Brahms, farm fresh for over 50 years, proud partner of OKC Energy FC.
Just talking to Paolo Nagamura earlier today, and we had that chance to ask him a few questions. And all these young players in the team, he did want to make the point that he's got to bring players through. It's not like he said back in 2018 when they could go all the way through to the conference finals or semi-finals. He said now his job is also to bring through youngsters, and that makes it slightly more difficult. So they play the 4-3-3, which is the Sporting Kansas City way, and he has to include a fair number of young players, which he's done. 5 teenagers, as I mentioned, that's a lot of players who haven't got a lot of experience in the game.
Well, the other thing he has to deal with is he sometimes doesn't know until maybe a day or 2 days before who will be available for him, depending on what the parent club has. And they have sent a couple of players down for them. I shouldn't say down, I should say loaned is a better word for that. And so that's got to be difficult. Sometimes he knows 5 days out. Other times it might be 24 or 48 hours. And Bijev almost came up with the interception, bumping with Kuich.
Mind you, talking of players in form like Musha, Galusa and Freeman on the one side, where you've got to look at Bijev and say 2 goals, 2 games, and the last goal being a match-winning goal against Memphis. You probably want to try and get him on the end of a few crosses and a few passes if you can. He really is a good goal-scoring form at the moment, Bijev.
Yes, go, 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 go. Yes, Charlie, and again, Arun.
Great passing, and just overlooked. That looked like a lovely series of short passes, but that one slipped away from the captain. Good look there at Zach Ellis-Hayden, who's been in very, very good form lately in the right back position for the OKC Energy. And Lee Wiedemann in his 3rd game as interim coach. He has a loss and a victory, and a free kick coming up. And not a popular decision, and that little swat of the ball out of play will draw the referee's attention. Not, I don't think, for a card, but definitely a lecture.
And you don't need the referee's attention, because just now it becomes a yellow card, and then you're treading on eggshells because you don't want the 2nd yellow card, as happened to Coronado. It's about, you know, they talk about in-game management as a team, but you've also got in-game management on a personal level. It's just trying not to give away silly yellow card, get booked for next to nothing, because that could impact you down the line. How many times have we said in games that was a silly yellow to get, and then down the line and get another yellow, and off they go? So in-game management on a personal level is also very important.
Nearly a steal there. Lopez has been harassing the back line for SKC2. And they do get it back, Vasilovic, and he is shoved in the back by Christian Duke. So this is an opportunity now here, maybe the best for a set piece here for OKC. And this is where Coronado will be missed.
It is, but again, Bijev is the man you should be trying to get the ball to. Maybe even a near post flick on to get him in at the far post. Whatever, however you can do it, just get him some service.
Here's Charlie Ward. Bijev, the platinum blonde, in that big mix there. He goes low instead. Not very effective, and it'll be swept away by SKC2 as the Energy try to maintain the pressure. Some nifty footwork there. Laid it off for Donovan. Bijev turns and fires. However, Brooks Thompson was the equal to that.
Yeah, comfortable save for Brooks Thompson. but that's what we say about Bijev. He wants to get shots on target. He wants to try and test the goalkeeper. That time it didn't quite work out, but you never know. The next time you see it, just bounces in front of the keeper. It doesn't quite have enough power on it. Didn't catch it cleanly, but the intentions are good and positive, and that's what you want from your striker.
So each team has a shot on frame so far. And turned aside, one for Cochran, now one for Thompson. Cochran will let this, I thought he might let it go, but he wants it instead.
I'm just going to say one thing, though, that the save from CJ was a good save, because that was a great chance there for Sporting Kansas City to score. I think for Brooks Thompson it was a relatively straightforward save. So if it was push, Dave, I would say that OKC are so far breathing a little bit more easily, because they're so close to being 1-0 down.
They fell behind early a week ago against Birmingham and almost beat maybe the best club in the division. They managed to get equal 1-1 on a goal by Bijev on a penalty kick, but gave up the game winner with about 10 minutes remaining and could not equalize. But they scored in the first half against Memphis last week. Bijev with that winner, assisted by Ellis Hayden. They had Lopez had a goal taken away by an offsides call, so they could have had 2 on the board. But the second half was a little hairy for them. And you see that push in the back. Bijev got shoved, but it's the Sporting KC player that actually seems to be the worse for wear on that. That might have been just as much an accident as anything else, but it drew the referee's whistle. And you see that's Kuich, 39, in the blue.
Petr Kuich says he's sorry, goes up to Bijev and a little quick word, an apology. Bijev's up and about. But just talking about OKC in that match, second to last match against Birmingham Legion, and it was only in the 83rd minute that JJ Williams scored the winner for Birmingham Legion. So you're right, the OKC put up a real battle there. And of course in the most previous match, or most recent match, the 1-0 win at Memphis. So good form. If you just to look at the last 2 matches and don't go too far back, it's decent form for OKC. Something to build on, most certainly.
So a misplaced pass that time. SKC2 with an opportunity to start their offense again. They had one really good opportunity rejected by Cochran, but not much else since then. But they are dangerous up top with both Freeman and Meshugaluga.
Just standing off SKC, they're saying if you want it around the edge of your box, that's fine. And then now we start putting a bit of pressure on. They managed to play through that, though.
Oh, Bijev looking for Lopez, but almost. Great idea. Thompson got in the way.
Yeah, Brooks Thompson reading that, getting out to the edge of the box and making the save.
Yeah, they cannot clear it at the moment, and now it's going to set up a throw-in in a pretty good position here for OKC. As soon as we figure out the correct ball to be thrown in.
This first ball has been played. You'll have another shot at our next home match, so make sure you enter it.
And Daniels will handle that duty. Looks like he's taking some of Rob Coronado's jobs, is Aiden Daniels, number 13, another Canadian on the roster for the Energy. Well, we have a moment there. The USL is committed to supporting the LGBTQ+ community through the Forever Proud Project. The USL will strive to create safe and welcoming environments for all fans, players, employees, and partners. Learn more at uslsoccer.com/forwardforever-proud. 0-0, along with Gary Bailey, Dave Lamont. USL Championship action tonight at Taft Stadium, a smaller pitch than what Sporting KC2 is used to at home. So there'll be and Paulo Nagamura talked about that as well as one of the things that'll be different about the matchup that they had already, which was in Kansas City on a larger field. Here, a little bit narrower dimensions at Taft.
Yeah, what that does is it makes it more competitive, and the word he used was combative, because you can't, haven't got space to play and you're on top of each other a little bit more. And he said he'd be looking to his players at SKC to see if they could match and in fact beat OKC on these 50-50. So far, it's pretty even. I've got to say, as a, you know, when you've got 5 teenagers on your side, as SKC2 have, they've had a decent first, what, 24 or so minutes. So impressed, but the only thing I'd say about youngsters is they can tail off towards the end of the game. I guess the opposing argument is,
well, this is dangerous here, as Lopez posting up the goalkeeper, tried to dump it off to Bichev, and great defense by Sporting KC, and they turn it around, end-to-end action, and they're going to force a throw-in as Donovan had no choice but to just knock it out of bounds.
Well, you're asking about the wind and what it does. Well, there was an example for you. Long ball held up in the wind, and young Brooks Thompson came to get it and never went through to him, and he was nearly caught in no man's land.
Freeman and the beautiful feed from Meshugaluga. Freeman was able to force the first corner kick of the match coming up now for Sporting KC. What a turnaround this was.
He just holds up. The keeper's waiting, and then all of a sudden he's like, okay, I can't come out the box and foul. And in the end, there were enough light blue shirts around to deal with the problem. But exactly the question you asked about that win, there is where it becomes difficult for the goalkeeper.
So it looks like it'll be Tyler Freeman handling the duties here. Referee making sure that nobody's getting too physical prior to. That's Donovan who's marking Meshugaluga. Supporters are definitely into it. Comes out low, it's going to be sent aside, and we'll do it again.
Meshugaluga just trying to get in CJ Cochran's sort of line of vision and stop him from coming out and just making the goalkeeper think about it. And you're right, the crowd not happy with it.
No, the crowd is giving the referee what for, but that's their job. Again, far post, Cochran ran into his own man, and the back of the net was available.
Ooh, I don't know. I think you're right. He ran into his own man.
Yep, that's going to be a goal for Sporting KC.
I don't know. I think he disallowed
no goal.
it. Yeah.
No.
So I'm saying I think you were right. He ran into his own man, and the referee, I think, blew because of that. But that's not a foul. Let's have a look and see if there was anything else.
I thought it was his own guy right there.
It's his own guy.
That's a hard fall that Cochran took.
Only wondering if Danny Barbier pushed the defender into the goalkeeper. That could be the only thing that referee Greg Dupke saw.
So no goal.
Bit of a let-off there, wasn't it, for OKC?
Well, Cochran, the other thing is that spill that Cochran took, it looked like his face hit the turf. And as you can obviously tell, it's artificial surface, so that's not a gentle fall. It would be a gentle fall if it were grass. But he was out of position. However, the play had been blown dead, and a big break for the Energy.
And again, it's difficult for referees like Greg Dupke. They don't have VAR. They can't call it one way or another and wait to be told to go and look at a screen. They have to make an immediate assessment. Goalkeeper gets hit in the midair. There's bodies everywhere. The assumption is it was the attacker who got in the way. I'm not so sure it was in that case, but you try making those snap decisions that quickly.
Yeah, understandable. And an attempt at a switch went well over the head of Barbier. And Vasilovic looking like he wants Ellis Hayden to handle this, and he does. You can see Nagamura there in the light blue golf shirt with a white collar, directing his side.
Yeah, really good player back in the day, wasn't he?
Yes, yes, he was actually.
Played in Europe.
He's been with this franchise now 4 years as a head coach and as an assistant coach, part of a champion.
Jeff coming all the way back just to get a touch of the ball.
Well,
good ball.
Well, that was gorgeous, gorgeous pass. And now a great opportunity here to set up a good set piece coming up for OKC on that foul. But that all began with a stunning long pass.
Wasn't it just? I mean, to hit a ball that accurately over that distance with pace, that's a fantastic strike. Have a look here. Wow, from Connor Donovan. Absolutely brilliant. It gets right to where it's going. Inch perfect. And then Roger Smith adjudged to have fouled. And you're right, it's a decent position to get a good ball in there. That wind is playing havoc, as Brooks Thompson has already found out.
So Bijev stands over. Aiden Daniels was the one who got knocked over, and he's still hobbling just a little bit. So it looks like this is going to be Bijev. So I would think that Lopez could be a target here. Again, watch for Rogers, number 5, and his height in the air. Into that wind, you can hear. Referee just tidying up a couple of things.
It seems to happen at every set piece
Yes,
these days.
everybody is so angry. It's hurry up and wait is the old cliche. And now we're ready. Back line headed that out beautifully. And Osmond will send it back to Ellis Hayden, and OKC will try to hit the reset button.
Good pressure. Look at that pressure. Nearly getting turnover ball.
And Ellis Hayden, no call there. Well, good footwork there by Smith. And then he tripped himself up. He's looking for a call, but quite honestly, it certainly appeared he just knocked himself out of the play there.
Yeah, referee doesn't see anything there. Just waves play on. Nice and positive from Roger Smith, though. Bombing forward, trying to get the defense on their heels.
Just the tiniest bit of contact by Vasiljevic. Nothing that you'd ever want to see a call for. I think he was going beautifully. Left, right, left, right, left, right, but just...
I think he sort of ran out of anyone to support him. If there was someone nearby he could have passed the ball to, it would have been a lot simpler. I think he was looking and eventually just just fell over, nowhere else to go.
So when we have a moment, we'll tell you can score a great deal with the Brahms Family 4-pack. For only $49, you will get 4 match tickets, 2 buy one, get one free Brahms combo vouchers, and 4 Energy FC hats. Visit energyfc.com/Brahms to pick up your Brahms Family 4-pack. And we are at the mandated hydration break, and the temperature when the players first got out on the pitch to warm up was right around 90. And it's gotten just a touch cooler, but not too much. And take a good look there at Paulo Nagamura, head coach for SKC2. So we mentioned the Team of the Week features one of the players you're looking at tonight, and that's the goalkeeper, C.J. Cochran. You take a look, there's a picture of Cameron Lancaster, of course, but at the very top of the table there, C.J. Cochran, the keeper of the week, for that 7-save performance, and so much of it in the second half, and helping the Energy pick up their first win of the season to defeat Memphis 9-0-1.
You can look at Yearwood, what a goal he scored for New Mexico. And then up front, Mishi's been in unbelievable form. Jack Blake, 2 great strikes for San Diego. Brilliant strike. Hadji Barry with 2 assists. And he had a couple of goals himself. Cameron Lancaster, brilliant. I mean, there's so many good players in this lineup here. Absolutely stunning. Preston Judd up front as well for the Galaxy.
So there's your Week 9 Team of the Week. I was surprised in going through the USL Championship website that none of those saves by Cochran were nominated for Save of the Week.
It should have been. That one from the header, absolutely. The header from Kisadu was just world class. But yeah, he still got nominated for the team, and that's something. There's Bijev. Give him service. He will score. I'm pretty sure of that. And that's what SKC have to stop. Of course, they've conceded way too many goals. SKC 19 in total. That's the highest in the Eastern Central Division, 3rd highest in the entire league. So I think step number 1 for SKC and Paulo Nagamura is try and keep a clean sheet. And of course, Brooks Thompson will be wanting to do that after conceding 4 in the last match he played against Tulsa.
Well, you know, it's ironic who was nominated for a Save of the Week. John Pulskamp, who was not in uniform tonight for SKC2.
Oh, he made some good saves,
Yeah.
Dave. Wow.
But this is interesting because we were talking before the match. You've got SKC, a team that has had a hard time keeping people from scoring, and OKC that has had a hard time scoring. So it's always fascinating when you have these opposites attract Paula Abdul moments, because you don't know what's going to hold up.
Yeah, well, and for OKC, 7 goals is the second lowest scored in the Eastern Central Division. So you're 100% right. Hasn't been good enough. And I think both managers, Lee Vidman's already had a good bump since he took over, and they look much better, OKC. But both managers will want their teams to pick up their performances, start climbing that table, and you've got to score goals and keep clean sheets if you want to do that.
Now a little bit of pressure here by Sporting KC2. Caden Pierre and the back mates, that's Graham Smith with it there, number 16. And they will reverse thrust and try again. Well, Thompson did not get all of that one at all. BJ was able to trap it, but could not maintain the possession. He fights for it with Graham Smith, and BJ's going to wind up with it. Looking to try to center it, looking for Lopez, and that's not going to come up there. But that time, young Thompson with a physical mistake, not able to clear the ball.
Yeah, at least he got height on it. The sort of danger with a bad clearance, if it's low, it can be volleyed straight back into the goal. That had height, it gave the young goalkeeper time to sort of get back into his goal, but it has resulted in a corner. Again, that flag is fluttering right where the corner is being taken, so you know the ball is going to move in the air.
Daniels in charge. Headed. Not enough to get on the frame, however, and swept away by the back line and out of play. Where some very nifty work that time by one Lee Vidman.
Played for both Everton and Liverpool at the junior level. We never got to ask him which team he actually supports.
Well, in fairness, England was playing at the time we were speaking. And both of you gentlemen were touch distracted. So it's understandable. He admitted that it was on where he was. You admitted it was on where you were. It's okay. It's all part of life's rich pageant.
Just hoping that England can do well, of course. Always proud to have worn the 3 Lions shirt, and you always hope they'll do something in this tournament. However, we've got Germany in the next match, so every time we play the Germans, we seem to lose.
Pressure down the right-hand side here by Sporting KC2. A great run. Now Mashugaluga. And Mashugaluga gets a lot of attention yet again, but he's going to get a... No, doesn't get the corner kick. Thought he might have, but it's going to be ruled out off Mashugaluga, and it will belong to C.J. Cochran and the Energy.
What he could do with, ideally, Mashugaluga is a bit of open space, because he's got great pace and wonderful balance, and he's not the best dribbler in the world in tight spaces, but give him a bit of open ground and he can be absolutely incredible. So that's what they're going to keep working at, SKC, to try and get him into a bit of open space.
Handball called there. And Kurimoto. Working hard down that left side. Most of the attack seems to be centered by the Energy tonight along their left-hand side. Wow, just like running into a wall. That's good. Roger Smith, just, it's like you try to open the door and it doesn't open and you just walk right into it. And that foul against the Energy.
Go, 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 go.
Game needs a goal though, doesn't it? It's all good defensive work. And no doubt SKC are delighted with the clean sheet so far, but you want to see goals, and had a few little half chances, maybe not enough as yet.
Well, each keeper's had to make one save. Cochran's a bit more challenging than Thompson's.
Hey, come on.
Switch to the left.
Good ball.
Yep. That's Barbier, lays it off. Or Mashugaluga, who again has attracted so much attention, and understandably. Kurimoto comes away with it. And then Bijev, who seems to be everywhere. He's playing every position except keeper right now.
Well, he just wants to get a touch on the ball. He's not getting much up front. He comes all the way back just to feel part of the game.
There he is.
Go away, go away, go, 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 go.
Also, what it does when you drop there as a striker, the centre-backs tend not to come with you, which means you're a free man, so you can make the extra in midfield.
Not a good kick there, and it's going to belong on the throw-in for Sporting KC. 4th of July weekend starts with a bang when the USL on ESPN continues on Saturday, July 3rd. It's a Golden State clash when San Diego Loyal plays host to Sacramento Republic. That's July 3rd, Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN 2.
Musha Galusa trying to claim a free kick there from a Christian Duke pass, but referee once again just waving it away.
Greg Dopka is in charge of this game tonight. His assistants, Nicholas Balser and Matt Geringer. Connor Stockton is the 4th official. We'll hear from him pretty soon. Not a lot of stoppage time anticipated here. We've had no discipline. We've had no goals. We had one that was stopped by the referee. It looked like a goal for Sporting KC, but a foul was called off of a corner kick. And you see that Mashugalusa that time had to bring himself back into an onside position. He had tried to get down the pitch, and the defense pulled up. He had to pull back.
Go, go.
There's 2 lines of 4 from OKC, very close together. Not much space, but they found some.
Yep, Duke had a chance there for the clearance. Freeman, and he does the wise thing. Trying to get it into Mashugalusa, but it's turned aside by the center of that Energy defense. And a throw-in coming up. Tell you about First Fidelity Bank, proud to be an OKC Energy FC founding sponsor. Our 20 OKC Metro locations make banking convenient for you, especially when combined with our free worldwide ATMs, mobile banking, and mobile deposit. Stolen by Lopez, and Thompson stones him.
Oh, that was a bad error by Jankic. Caught on the ball there by Lopez, and having got the ball, Lopez had time to go around the goalkeeper perhaps, or have a shot. Well done, Brooks Thompson, but have a look here. Gets the ball, now he's got time. He didn't need to shoot necessarily. Could have gone around the keeper. He tries that quick one, and Brooks Thompson makes the save. So we've had a one-on-one by each goalkeeper, and both times goalkeepers have come out tops.
And that makes you happy.
It does.
Let me finish for our friends at First Fidelity Bank, by the way. First Fidelity Bank, we go where you go. Visit ffb.com today. And that's going to be a throw-in coming up, so OKC winning the battle of real estate at the moment.
Just thinking, sorry, Dave.
No, that's all right.
Just thinking back to that error by Jankic. That's the sort of thing you don't want to do, even though he's 19 years of age. You look at your coach, Paulo Nagamura, he will not be happy that you had the ball taken off you and gave Lopez a really good chance. So let's see if Jankic can not make any further mistakes in this game and maybe redeem himself a touch. Also, I think I was going to say he owes Brooks Thompson a beer, but at 19, Brooks Thompson can't drink, so he owes him a soft drink.
Flick header, and it's going to be wide and just a bit off frame, and it's going to be a goal kick coming up, and an opportunity for Nakamura that time, excuse me, Kurimoto, to try to get one on the keeper. Energy FC is excited to welcome the Lincoln at Central Park Apartments as a proud partner of the club, the official home of Energy FC players. The Lincoln at Central Park Apartment Homes is the epitome of luxury apartment living in Oklahoma City. For more information, please call 405-759-5583. Mention promo code #ThisIsOurCity for special discounts.
Up together, up together.
Good pressure from OKC here. They've had one turnover ball.
Bijev had a chance there. They're going to handball in the box, and I believe we are headed to the spot. That's a handball inside the box, and an incredible opportunity here in the closing moments of the opening half coming up for OKC Energy.
And that all came from a high press from OKC. Have a look here. Is it Graham Smith's hand it comes off?
Right
no,
here.
it's not. It's there. It's Christian Duke, isn't it? Comes off his hand. You know, I'm not so sure. The rules have changed recently in Europe to say that that really isn't a penalty anymore. But just to explain that the US is still off last season's rules, and they were a bit stricter on penalties. But when it bounces up at you like that, the new rule says that it's up to the referee to decide. But in general, if you can't get out the way, then it's not a penalty. But again, we're sticking with the older rules, and referees can be a touch harsher, and penalty has been given.
So Bijev has a penalty kick already this season. That was 2 games ago in the loss to Birmingham. He made his. Brooks Thompson trying to make himself big. Bijev, and Thompson saves it, but the rebound is put in. It's a goal for the Greens.
Good save by the goalkeeper, absolutely fantastic, but Bijev is sharp. He follows in the ball, as you should do, and it's a tough break for the young 19-year-old goalkeeper. Bijev knocks it into the back of the net. Yeah, 3rd game in a row that he has scored. He's in great form. Have a look, goalkeeper chooses the right way, makes the save. Could Brooks Thompson have pushed it away? That would be very harsh. He did well just to get his hands on the ball. But credit there to Bijev for being sharp and jumping on that rebound.
Yeah, he tried to save it away. It looked like at the end when he realized that he'd given something up and saw Bijev, you could see him try to get his body around to get a hand on that, but Bijev was just too fast. That's his 4th goal of the season for the Bulgarian native. And with about 2 minutes of stoppage time, OKC takes the lead on Sporting Kansas City 1-0.
That's now 20 goals conceded by SKC2 in the Eastern Central Division.
Let me ask you, Gary, is Sporting Kansas City in the last few minutes looked a bit disorganized in the back?
Well, they had their pocket picked there a few minutes ago, and with Jankic losing the ball, and that was very close, Lopez, to scoring. I think that gave OKC the sense that, hey, we should keep on this high press. It's given us a dividend already, and it did straight away. It got them a penalty. So, yeah, you're right. In the last 5 minutes, 2 high presses have resulted in Lopez going through 1-on-1 and Bijev slotting a penalty.
However, very quickly, SKC2 has earned a corner kick. Be taken by Tyler Freeman as soon as the referee clears everybody for play.
Here we go again, as we said.
This has been a frequent sight tonight. Every time, we haven't had a lot of corner kicks, but every time we seem to have a little bit of scuffling. Going to the far post, a little bit of a header. Cochran had to spike that over the net on the hop as Jankic came in and spiked that header into the ground.
That's a good corner, not to the far post. Everybody was fighting in the middle. And you'll see that Jankic just peels away, goes far post, and CJ takes no chances.
So we'll try one more. Into the middle this time, taken care of by the back line again. And that leads us to halftime. I believe that was Connor Donovan with back-to-back headers. And the last few minutes, pretty dramatic, as both goalkeepers were called into play. And Ilian Bijev picks up his 4th goal of the season, his 2nd made penalty kick of the season, and OKC takes the lead going into the dressing room. Coming up, the dish with Devin to look around the hottest things going on in USL Championship Soccer. That's all coming around right here. Taft Stadium, OKC leading Sporting KC 1-0.
Real commitment doesn't stumble. It doesn't hesitate. It's ready at a moment's notice. On the sidelines and in the stands. It leans in and gets loud. We're ready for you, for our club, for our city, for whatever comes next. we're SSM Health St. Anthony, and we're proud to be the official healthcare partners of the OKC Energy FC.
See the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and I get it up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and I get it up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. I've been on the flex since flex on. Neighborhood all in your eardrums. I ain't never scared like Bone Crush. Boy, I got God, don't fear none. My line busy, take no calls. Feels like I don't have no flaws. Snakes in the grass, cut those off. Yo, squad shit, my bros rock.
In this matchup between Sporting KC2 and OKC Energy, their second meeting of the season. The first one was a 1-all draw back in May. Well, take a look around the USL. The one man to take care of that for you, Devin, here's the dish.
Week 9 is so divine. The dish coming at you spicy hot like always. 88 minutes played, 2 goals in the back of the net. We're sitting at 1-1 versus Hartford Athletic and Loudoun United Dillon Stadium. 40-minute rain delay. But as Mother Nature giveth, she also taketh away. And that is the points that Loudoun United we're going to get because Nico Cardona gets a bolt from Zeus's lightning rod in the back of the net. They get the 2-1 victory after the 3-2 loss to Charlotte. They have done very well. They take on the Tampa Bay Rowdies on the weekend, 7 p.m. Dillon Stadium. Stick with me. Tampa Bay Rowdies have now lost 2 out of the last 3. I got to tell you the results ahead of time because the Pittsburgh Riverhounds were quality. They march into Al Lang. They get a goal from Danny Griffin in the 21st. They get a goal from Russell Cicerone in the 54th. Kennardo Forbes, the king of assists in the USL Championship, grabs another one. Yeah, Seba Guenzati gets one at the end of this to make it 2-2-1, but that's still 1 less than you need to get a point. It's 2 less than to get 3 points, so Pittsburgh Riverhounds walk out. Tampa Bay Rowdies, what do you say? You gonna get back to your winning ways? Pittsburgh 3-1-1 in the last 5 results against Indy 11, Tampa Bay Rowdies. Miami FC, how about them River Rhinos? Oh yeah! Let's turn it up a little bit. Tulsa, they start 3 wins on the season. They lose 4 out of the last 5. Louisville, remember everybody was talking about Louisville City and how they weren't doing so well? 3 goals in this game. Oh, sorry, what's that? My apologies. 3 goals in the opening 10 minutes. Cameron Lancaster, the Olympic goal in 2nd minute. Jonathan Gomez, in the past 3 weeks, has gotten call-ups to the senior men's national team for Mexico, the senior men's national team for the United States, and his first USL championship goal. He's 17 years old. Sit down and take notes. Cameron Lancaster would add a penalty in the 10th minute. You would get 2 goals at the end of this for FC Tulsa to make it 3-2. But FC Tulsa now travel to HEB Park and RGV at 8:30 p.m. on the weekend, where what? That's right, dreams go to die. Rodrigo da Costa, MVP-like numbers, needs MVP-like points. They need 3 goals, 3 assists on the season. Well, 3 and 3 is 9. Stick with me here. Tell you where dreams don't go to die. San Diego, because Jack Blake is officially back with the Blake down. Opening goal there, he's on fire right now. He plays the ball down into the corner. Watch Charlie Adams here. Ball square, Charlie, get out of the way. Get to the chopper. Jack Blake is here to help us out. Another goal by Jack Blake, 57th minute. This game tactically, you didn't have to worry about what was going to happen. It was who was going to execute. Arturo Rodriguez brings Phoenix back within 1, 66th minute. His first goal in a Phoenix Rising uniform, his first goal in the USL Championship, and that is how it was end. 6 games between these two, 3 wins for Phoenix, 2 for San Diego, 1 draw, 23 goals between the two. They're the 2 best friends that anyone can have.
And when Gary and I come back, we'll take you through some of the numbers and the highlights of half number 1 of this matchup between Sporting KC2 and the OKC Energy.
I wasn't going to let anything get in my way of achieving my goals, which were to be a professional soccer player. So the first opportunity I got at preseason, when a teammate asked like if I was dating a girl or something, I just came out to a bunch of my teammates at dinner and said, no, I'm gay. All I needed to do was that one time, because then I didn't lie. Your sexuality should never limit you from playing the sport you love.
San Diego. Oh, music in.
McCrary brings it down to his chest. Jordan McCrary has tied it here. Takes a hard strike, saved by Romel Gomez.
The drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Ooh, I've been on the flex since flex zone. Neighborhood all in your eardrums. I ain't never scared like Bone Crush. Boy, I got God, don't fear none. My line busy, take no calls. Feels like I don't have no flaws. Snakes in the grass, cut those off. Yo, squad shitty, my bros raw.
Now, Brahms has been serving delicious cheeseburgers made with 100% pure beef patties, along with their signature limeade and crinkle-cut fries, real hand-dipped ice cream, thick milkshakes, old-fashioned banana splits, and sundaes, all made with their farm-fresh milk. Brahms, farm fresh for over 50 years, proud partner of the OKC Energy FC. And OKC is on top, 1-0. We take a look around the news and notes in USL Championship. El Paso Locomotive has not lost any of their last 18 regular season matches. Their last loss 11 months ago. And Cameron Lancaster earns the weekly honor as our Clear Audio Player of the Week after 3 goals for Lou City FC. And we mentioned USL Championship on ESPN. We got a Southern and Northern California battle on Independence Day weekend. San Diego Loyal SC versus Sacramento Republic FC. That's July 3rd. At 7 Eastern on ESPN2. A look around the scoreboard. Of course, you know our score in the upper left-hand corner. And that is actually from Saturday, OKC's first victory. Sporting KC losing to Indy 11 on Sunday, and here they are in a stretch of 4 matches in 11 days, trailing at the half here. Last night, Colorado Springs Switchbacks took down the Austin Bold, and today, Charlotte blanked Charleston. And in the 66th minute now, it's Miami and Birmingham Legion, the top team in the Central. Neither team able to score.
Wow, Charlotte beating Charleston. I think they beat them 3-1 earlier on in the season. They've given them a bit of a battering.
And on Friday on ESPN Plus, you'll have the Riverhounds, who are playing well, taking on Red Bulls 2, Rio Grande FC, and FC Tulsa. Also on Friday, the Switchbacks in New Mexico United, Las Vegas Lights, and San Diego Loyal. On Saturday, Charleston Battery and Loudoun United FC, and the big one in the East, a Hartford Athletic and the Tampa Bay Rowdies. That is also on ESPN Plus on Saturday. So when we come back, we'll take you through what the first half looked like and get you ready for half number 2 as the Energy are trying to make it a 2-game win streak for interim coach Lee Wiedemann, leading Sporting KC 1-0.
United Turf and Track is proud to be a partner and the official sports field service provider for the Energy FC practice facility and training grounds. United Turf and Track is a turnkey sports field construction, installation, renovation, and consulting company for natural grass and synthetic turf field systems. With over 50 years of combined experience in sports field construction and service management, United Turf and Track is the only certified field builder in Oklahoma and Arkansas. Contact us today for your next field construction or renovation project.
To the IT professionals, enabling companies across the country to work from home and making business as usual out of unusual circumstances. This new way of working doesn't work without you. Your company is counting on you, and you can count on Cox Business Cloud Solutions. So keep collaborating, keep adapting. We'll keep your data safe and accessible through it all.
Welcome to Love's. Here, technology drives us. That's why we research technology advancements in our own labs. It's why we're constantly developing new tools to improve the ways you move. Ways that lead to safer, more efficient travel. Here at Love's, we believe that technology drives us all forward. Love's, working to bring innovation to the highway.
So there you see 1-0 at Taft Stadium, Energy FC Field, Sporting KC2 on the downside of that. And they had a couple of chances early, and Gary, none better than fairly early in the game.
Yeah, there was a great chance for Roger Smith here, and CJ just stands up big and strong, puts out that left foot, that left size 10 probably, and that's what blocks the shot. But a good run there from Roger Smith.
Back the other end now, young Brooks Thompson gets tested here, posting up against Frankie Lopez, who wheels and deals but can't find anybody there. And what ended up turning out is Sporting KC2 almost got a goal out of this because of that long boot.
Oh, this is where Jankic gets caught in possession. And Lopez, I'm just wondering, he's got time there. Could he have gone round the keeper? Could he have just did it? Have a look here. All the time in the world, and he just rushed the shot. In the end, a good save from Brooks Thompson.
And here's what led to the goal. Is Sporting KC was having a tough time clearing the ball. A handball was called against Christian Duke, and that left Bijev to step in to try to get his fourth goal, but it took 2 tries.
It was a good save from Brooks Thompson there. Fantastic save, but it just pops up perfectly for Bijev to follow it and smash it into the back of the net. Well read by the goalkeeper, but well followed up by Bijev for his 3rd goal in 3 games.
Possession is virtually even. Shots 6-8 in favor of Sporting KC. Shots on target, however, the Energy have the advantage there, and most importantly, the top line. Offside, just 1 each. We've had no discipline, fortunately, from our referee tonight.
The shots on target are always the most important thing. If you don't hit the target, you can't score, I guess.
Truer words have never been spoken. Energy FC wants to thank Tropical Smoothie Cafe for helping feed our players and for being a proud partner of Energy FC. Check out one of their 15 Oklahoma City metro locations or visit order.com, tropicalsmoothiecafe.com to get your smoothies delivered. So windy night, you can still hear the breeze. Now OKC will have that wind at their back. Referee Greg Dobka speaking with his mates. And we're off. Sporting KC2 in the light blue. And the greens in the green and white. With Gary Bailey, Dave Lamont, thank you for joining us here for this USL Championship match. Second half between 2 teams in the back end of their division, but 3 points here, and they can begin to look up at trying to make a move toward the top 4 and make the playoffs.
You got to say that if OKC do get another 3 points here, that you got to start looking at Lee Wiedemann and say, well, what a difference he has made. Because they started off OKC with a record of 0-4-4, and that led to John Pascarella being shown the door and Lee Wiedemann taking over. And since then, got the result in the last match with a win. He's had a draw, and now if he gets a win today, he will have turned this team around.
And he is the interim coach, but I would imagine that he would love that tag removed at the end of the season. This would go a little ways toward that. It'll be a goal kick coming up here for the 19-year-old Brooks Thompson.
It absolutely would go a long way towards changing that. And Lee Wieben does have a couple of options on his bench as well. He's got big Jaime Chavez. He's not 100% fit, he was telling us, but he could chuck him on for a good 20 minutes at the end. Jonathan Brown would be another option for him. Not so sure that Paulo Nagamura has the same depth to call on his bench. Mostly young players, teenagers. Cisneros is 17, Sparks is 18, Lennis 17. So yeah, a little bit more difficult for Nagamura if he wants to make changes.
Well, Chavez will be quite an ace in the hole if OKC needs him.
He's a good player, isn't he, Jaime Chavez?
Yeah, very
so
offensive minded.
Oh, good target man, great to get on the end of high balls.
Sporting KC flirting with turning that ball over, but they maintain possession, try the switch. You see the ball hang up in the wind a bit. And Bijev with a heel pass. Very cleverly struck, but the defense got back quickly. Drive from distance will be weak and wide, and a goal kick coming up for Sporting KC 2.
Again, decent from OKC, trying to at least get that second goal, and that's what's absolutely crucial. Get a second one and you can relax a bit more. Basulovic there will know that. He'll know that the second goal, and they can really kick back and relax. And that's what they'll be trying to do. They're a more mature side. They would have looked at this match and gone, we're playing the team at the bottom of the division, a team that has leaked more goals than any other in our division. We need to get a result. So anything less than a decent win here for OKC, and I think the players might be a little bit frustrated. Not to say that SKC is an easy team to play, but nonetheless, when you're sitting at the bottom of the table, your opponents will always look at you and think, we need to beat that team.
Take a good look there at Sam Rogers getting the start tonight. With Rob Coronado suspended for a game after drawing 2 yellow cards in the win over Memphis 9-01. And just a quick read on those standings while I have a moment here. Birmingham Legion FC leads Louisville City FC by 1 point, with Indy 11 in third, 4 out of first place, and FC Tulsa at the cut line, and over Atlanta United with more wins. Atlanta United has played 1 more game. They both have 12 points. However, FC Tulsa's in fourth. Then the Energy, Memphis and Sporting KC at the bottom 3. Off of the corner kick, headed off the line, still alive. And believe it or not, you saw Meshugalusa out there playing a little defense. Number 77 in blue, the dangerous goal scorer for SKC2. He was helping out along the back line.
Still in.
Oh, they thought the ball was out there from members of the coach had to say it, and the ball is still in.
And the officials agreed, because we have never stopped play. I don't think that Nagamura, the head coach for SKC2, was overly happy with that call. You could see him on the bench kind of spread his arms like, hey, what are you doing? But he did not get it. And the Energy trying to put together a drive here, and then they lose possession. And at the moment, OKC is 1 point back of Memphis, as is Sporting KC2 to move up. This is dangerous here. If we've seen Smith break through one time. Meshugalusa trying to create for his right foot, can't do it, and it's going to be swept away by the Energy. And there you see that wind on the long kick. And Frankie Lopez playing aggressively, shaking up a little bit on the play as he tried to go 1v1 and took a bit of a spill. And because he's holding his head, and the referee will stop play and send out for the athletic trainer.
Well, it wasn't much of a battle. Graham Smith is way, way bigger than Frankie Lopez, and give Lopez credit for being really brave and trying to battle with the big center back, but it was a battle he lost and hit the ground quite hard. But he's a real fighter, Frankie. Have a look here. Look how much bigger the number 16 is. And I think what happened is as well, Graham Smith just landed on him, and that's probably where the pain has come from. And you do think that at some stage, Jaime Chavez will come on for Frankie Lopez. Different style of player. Frankie, short, strong, quick, in your face, as opposed to Jaime Chavez, who's big and tall and an ideal target man for the high ball.
And there you see a great look at the compact, powerful body of Frankie Lopez, a native of Cuba. And he'll head out and wait for the official to wave him back in, which won't take long.
Yeah, 2 goals this season, so a very effective player. Again, looking at the chance he had first half, I think he should have perhaps done a bit better with that. Good save from Brooks Thompson, but he rushed his shot thinking that the defender Jankic was right behind him, and he wasn't. He had all the time in the world to just slow down and go around the keeper, but he just took a quick effort. Maybe he wasn't to know without looking behind him. Nonetheless, opportunity was lost.
You see Lopez back on the pitch in time for this throw in. Bijev trying to work with one of his teammates down that right-hand side. Didn't quite work out. And it'll belong to Sporting KC2. Well, if you're on the road, you can't watch the match, turn on Sirius XM FC, North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio, featuring Ray Hudson, Tony Miola, Rodney Marsh, and the brand new USL All Access featuring Mike Watts and Devin Kerr every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Fans of the USL can now listen to the best matches of the week, along with action from MLS, the Premier League, and the UEFA Champions League. Sirius XM FC, channel 157 on your Sirius XM radio and the Sirius XM app.
Whenever you read that, always mention Ray Hudson. Always wonderful to listen to Ray. And Rodney, what a player he was in his day.
Oh, God, did I hate his guts. I am a Fort Lauderdale Strikers till I die. And Rodney, of course, the Rowdies, the Strikers' biggest rivals. And I still have a hard time saying that name out loud. Now, Ray Hudson, you bet. Ray was a striker. That's just one of those things. Just kidding, Rodney. Not really.
And you've got to chuck a goalkeeper in, I might add, just to bring a little bit of sense to the whole thing.
Well, we could always bring in, Miola for sure.
Exactly, yeah. He brings the brains behind it.
He's the grown-up,
I'm just kidding.
He's the grown-up in the room. With Hudson and Marsh, somebody has to be the grown-up.
They're just all wonderful to listen to and well worth it. And, of course, our own Devin Kerr and Mike Watts. Come on.
That's right. And to hear Devin's dish every broadcast, USL Championship League. So an opportunity here, at least the real estate in favor of the Greens as they lead 1-0 on the penalty kick by Bijev very late in the first half.
But for SKC fans, you know, their team has been a lot better in attack more recently. They only scored twice in their first 6 games. It was horrendous, but the attack has sizzled in June with 10 goals in the last 4 matches. So this game isn't over, especially if we mentioned a few times if they can get Musha Galusa into a little bit of space and get his pace going, they can still get something out of this game.
Lopez working again against Smith, and Thompson couldn't maintain possession at first, but he's going to get some help from Graham Smith. Lopez dangerous again, and OKC had another great opportunity, couldn't cash.
Yeah, Thompson just not able to control that ball properly with his chest, and it bounced off. And once again, some last-ditch defending by Smith and Thompson, but they do manage to stop that second goal from going in.
Well, Zach Hayden Ellis managed to stop Musha Galusa from going very far, but there you see that was kicked back by Smith, and Thompson played it off of his body. But once again, Graham Smith, steady defender. So we have not seen this very often here, Gary. An opportunity now for a set piece from SKC2.
Yeah, and they've got some big defenders. How big is that? Jankic and Barbier, Smith. If there's one situation, as we see Lopez just getting a bit of treatment, if there's one situation where they should be able to get something from it, it is a set piece. Well,
Well, Lopez has had a tough night physically. This is the
he
third
took a
time.
hit there as well. Yeah. He's brave and strong, but you start to think maybe Jaime Chavez is going to come on and give Frankie Lopez a bit of a break.
Well, the question is, will Lopez be able to continue? He doesn't appear to be in too much agony. And again, though, he's going to have to come off and take a short break. And this is not the time to be short-handed when you're looking at a set piece here, even just for a few seconds.
He's getting applause from a crowd who appreciate how brave he's been, how many knocks he's taken for the cause there. And he really has been in the face of the Sporting Kansas City 2 defenders. In particular, Jankic, who he picked his pocket in that first half and nearly scored.
We've got Freeman and Davis for SKC2. What's the plan here? I mentioned some big bodies. Throw Graham Smith in there. He's down there too, 16. It'll be Freeman launching, and CJ Cochran with an easy play.
Yeah, way too close to the keeper there. That's in the 6-yard box, and CJ's going to come all day and get those. He wanted to sort of get it between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box and force the keeper to have to and ah whether he is going to come for it or not.
Well, Frankie Lopez is going to get called for that one as he is no longer limping, and he continues to forecheck and cause problems for SKC2. Good. That's going to go in favor of the Energy. Take a moment to tell you that Energy FC is proud to welcome Social Capital as the official watch party location for this season. Bring your family and watch every Energy FC away match at the #1 rated craft beer bar in Oklahoma by Forbes magazine and craftbeer.com. Social Capital boasts 120 independent craft beers on tap, a variety of cocktails and wine, a full menu of street tacos, and more with Oklahoma City's largest rooftop patio. So, Gary, we wondered in the first half, we mentioned that SKC2 has been offensively proficient, but at times defensively deficient. OKC, I say, would be the reverse of that. We're looking at 1-0, and SKC has only had one really good opportunity. What do they need to do?
Look, it's a good question, and I'm sure that's one that their coach, Paulo Nagamura, is busy wrestling with. Again, I've said it a few times, Musha Galusa in space. He's playing a little bit deep on that left-hand side with Tyler Freeman as the main striker. I would tend to push Musha Galusa up onto the shoulders of the center-backs and try and get some ball through to him. But it's a case of, you have to win ball in midfield before you can get it to the strikers, and that's where OKC have maybe dominated this match. You can see here they seem to be very comfortable in possession. But there's still time. There's still a third of the match to go. So nothing for SKC fans to concern themselves too much about.
They've gotten a solid performance out of Brooks Thompson, who certainly has had some dramatic moments in this match.
Yeah, he's only 19, so that chest that he didn't, that chested ball that bounced off him there, and Frankie Lopez nearly pounced on. You can give him a little bit of slack because he's still learning his trade at 19. He has made some crucial saves. CJ on the other side also, fantastic saves. At 29, 10 years his senior.
Bijab, nice trap off of that long header, but could not maintain the possession. Oh, nicely done there by Christian Duke. And let's see what SKC2 has in the saddlebag. Clean steal. And Bijab down that right-hand side, looking for Zach Ellis-Hayden, who comes up with it. Ellis-Hayden gets inside the box and has it taken away. A brilliant run that time by Ellis-Hayden. However, the pressure stays on by the Energy.
This is Bijab. He's the guy you want scoring the goals, and he's almost playing in a midfield role.
There he is. Cremoto dropped it off for him. Cremoto again. And it looks like SKC2 has settled it down, or have they? And a little pushing and shoving going on there, and the ball's going to remain with the home team. They quickly inbounded.
Yeah, OKC are doing well. They're 1-0 up. They're maintaining most, decent control of the ball. They're in charge of this match. You're looking at SKC saying, you need to do something, which is your point from a minute ago. What are they going to do? Well, they're just not doing enough. But maybe credit OKC for controlling the game and making it difficult. And Bijev, he's been up front, he's been in the middle, he's been the creator, he's been the scorer. He's absolutely everywhere.
And that long ball there is not going to work. It's going to end up in the possession of young Thompson.
That was a little bit hopeful, wasn't it?
Yes.
Just way too strong for Bijev. Mind you, here's a stat. While we're just sort of waiting for the game to come to life and see if SKC can do something in attack, the record for OKC when trailing at halftime is absolutely horrendous. And I'm sure their fans are delighted they are winning at halftime, because trailing at halftime, 61 matches, they have only won 1. Out of 61 when trailing at halftime. I thought it was an error, but it seems to be correct.
Well, but on the other hand, Sporting KC 2, when trailing on the road at halftime, 32 matches, they only have picked up 1 win and 1 draw and 30 defeats. Now that's on the road.
Wow.
So we have 2 trend. Well, that's not a trend here for OKC tonight, but that's a trend for SKC that
to come back from that. And Dave, what you look for there is you look for that sort of that fighting spirit and that determination to away from home to dig in, and clearly SKC have been battling with that. Now again, they have a lot of young players who maybe not as sort of aggressive as some of the older players that we see on the OKC side, but nonetheless, 1 win out of 32 when trailing on the road at halftime. That really raises questions about the determination of the SKC players when they're on the road.
Now it's going to be out of play, and the throw-in coming in for SKC2. The United Soccer League, all 31 championship clubs and its players stand together in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. For more information on the USL's commitment to change, the United Against Racism campaign, visit uslsoccer.com. Well, you wonder now about the substitutions for Lee Wiedemann. I'm kind of with you. I don't know if Lopez is going to make it the full 90 tonight, just because he's sacrificing his body. There he is again on the complete chase. And now Bijev also chasing after Thompson, trying to maybe make a mistake, force a mistake. But I wonder if Lopez can go the full 90. I wonder what other substitutions that Lee Wiedemann may cook up.
Well, it might be something they've agreed. He might have asked him to run himself into the ground for 65 minutes, knowing that he can bring on Jaime Chavez.
And now an opportunity here, perhaps, for SKC2. And that crossed in front of the goal mouth, but not that close to C.J. Cochran. And got a throw-in coming up. Let's see the ruling is against.
And just to pick up on that point, the goal came from a high press from OKC. The chance for Frankie Lopez when he nicked the ball off Jankic came from the high press. So the hard work those two have put in up front has given them reward and a dividend.
Donald wants the long throw in, looking for Bijev. He overshot him. Yeah, when you undercut like that with Graham Smith and Lopez going at it. And referee a little bit worried about that. Could have been dangerous. And you find the last words I believe we heard was "no more" from referee Dobka.
You've got to give Frankie Lopez credit. He has battled, he's got stuck in. I just love his attitude. Again, with those stats you mentioned about SKC on the road, maybe that's what I haven't seen from them, is that real fire, that determination to win at all costs that good professionals have. You know, yes, they're not all young players, and you know, I love to see players that get stuck in like Frankie Lopez, because they hate losing, and they'll do anything to come away with a win.
Good ball on the ground there to Smith. Smith had the best chance. Roger Smith, the Jamaican native, had the best chance for SKC2 in the 8th minute. Point blank against C.J. Cochran, who made a beautiful sliding save. Now a chance here for the Energy. Can Lopez get there? He's offside.
That's unfortunate. That was a good opportunity. If Frankie Lopez can just look down the line, he can see the defenders, and the job of a striker is to keep yourself onside just in case that ball gets played through. So maybe he is feeling a little bit tired now. He's put in a hell of a shift, though.
I don't see anybody hanging around the 4th official ready to come in just yet.
Here's Bijev again in midfield.
Yeah, he's done everything but play goal right now for the Greens.
Well, there's a chant we have in England. He's here, he's there, he's every something where. And that sums up Bijev.
Dangerous here, though. Got to be careful as Davis begins to put on some pressure in the front in case somebody makes a mistake. Chance here, and who else but Bijev? Heads to his left, trying to create for Lopez. Leaves one up, far post. And a good job that time by Barbier to shield Lopez's body away. But pressure continues for OKC Energy. Drive from distance is blocked. Loose ball. And who else is mixing it up? It's either Lopez or Bijev. I'll tell you what, Lee Wiedemann is getting every penny out of these guys tonight. They have really earned their match checks. Turned over. Ward tried the heel pass and didn't quite work.
And it's that good pressure from OKC that's winning ball as it is there. Okay, he's given away the free kick, unfortunately. But they really have pressurized SKC2, haven't really allowed them to settle on the ball, and they've won a lot of very useful ball in the SKC half.
So Mashugalusa was taken down, and that call a little bit easier. That one against Hiroki Kurimoto. Nothing too violent. We've had no yellow cards this evening. The penalty shot that we got, the penalty kick, was as a result of a handball in the box call.
It's been in very good spirit. No nastiness. You're 100% right. Good professionals going about the game in a good spirit.
Back line for the Energy's been steady in front of Cochran. Sets up a throw-in opportunity here in the 69th minute.
It's normally about now that you start to bring on fresh legs. Whether players are playing well or not, I mean, obviously if they're not playing well, you want to replace them. And even if they're playing okay, they start to tire at this stage of the game, and a fresh pair of legs can bring on a new look, a new way of doing things.
Ellis Hayden with an incredible steal off the tackle from Smith. Couldn't quite clear it out. Davis drops it off for Mashugalusa and Mashugalusa, pardon me. And there Davis, a little frustrated, I suspect, with a push. And we are going to get a substitution for OKC. And actually the man who's coming out is Bijev.
Wow, that's interesting. But I mean, the amount of running he's done, I'm not surprised. I thought it was Frankie Lopez who was going to probably come off first, but Bijev has run himself into the ground, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot more substitutions following now for both sides. They need to get fresh legs onto the pitch, especially Sporting Kansas City.
And Tucker Stevenson out of Overland Park, Kansas, number 18, checks in as the game's first substitution.
Is he an ex-Sporting Kansas City player? It's always nice if he is. It's always nice to get one over your former side.
Well, you do have Christian Duke, number 32 in the blue, who was with OKC. And you see Stevenson making an impact immediately, helping come up with a steal. But OKC couldn't quite organize anything with that. And Kuich settled things down, number 39. And Tucker Stevenson actually had been with SKC too. You are absolutely correct, sir.
Cool. As I say, it's always nice to get one over your old side. We're all human. We all like to show the team we left that, yeah, you shouldn't have let us go, you know, just saying.
Still plenty of time for SKC2.
They have to do something different, though. It's you know, rinse, wash, repeat, and they're not getting past that OKC defense. Mushagalusa is now on this right-hand side, so that's already a little bit of a change. But, you know, get him up front, move players around, just do something different.
And Mushagalusa now with an opportunity down the right-hand side, for the moment undefended. Now he draws the attention he deserves, switches right, and his shot was deflected. So we're going to get a corner kick coming up. He was alone for a few seconds. It didn't take long for help to arrive.
You see, give him some space to run into. At least he gets a shot. It's blocked. Yes, you get a corner from it, but if he has space, he is a huge threat, Mushagalusa.
So Freeman again from the corner spot. Oh, whoa, that was very dangerous. And it looks like it's going to be ruled off of OKC. Make sure we have that correct. I saw the official swiping his hand, so we'll double check that. Another corner kick is coming up. That was a terrific opportunity. It went by the boards, and another one that's in front and goes all the way through, and it's going to be a throw-in coming up. So Freeman with a couple of very, very dangerous corner kicks.
I think the one was retaken because the referee was pointing at his whistle as if to say, I didn't blow, I didn't give you permission to take it. But at least we're seeing a bit more life here from Sporting Kansas City going forward. And they've gone from just trying to sort of control the ball in midfield, trying to win it, to actually now attacking for the first time this match, really attacking in numbers.
Yeah, they've brought a few guys forward, that's for sure. Hey, Caden Pierre, 24, has moved up. He has it now. Davis turned aside. And Kuich's header didn't work. And look, it is. It's Lopez. Goalie is out. Lopez's shot is too high.
Wow, Lopez, what a chance to finish this game off, and he knows it. He's sitting there. I thought he was going to chip the goalkeeper because the ball jumped up and the keeper was off his line. I thought it was a great opportunity to chip the keeper. Have a look at it again. It's a wonderful ball played out of defense. Now it sits up there, and I'm thinking there's a chance to chip because Brooks Thompson was way off his line. Instead he goes and waits, and then just doesn't quite get it on target. He's just being challenged as he shoots. But once again, Frankie Lopez, what a danger he is up front.
So we're going to have a substitution for Sporting KC as Jake Davis will come out.
In the 75th minute. Leaving the match, number 46, Jake Davis. Replacing him as number 34, Dominic Recitar.
Dominic Recitar will come in.
That's what you need, fresh legs, someone to have a bit of a run. The man who comes from Dinamo Zagreb, which is a wonderful background to have in the world of soccer.
A little deflection there, and OKC has another opportunity here. A long shot! Whoa, that did not miss by much. Vasilovic almost made it 2-0.
It's a long way out, though, to beat the goalkeeper from there. You'd have to catch Brooks Thompson losing concentration for a moment. Let's just see how far out. Look, it's worth a try, but you're 30+ yards out, and I think Thompson pretty much had that covered. But again, positive play by OKC. I would never get too annoyed with a striker from having a dip from there, because it just shows you they're looking for that second. They're not sitting in defense trying to hold on to a 1-0 lead. They're trying to finish this game off with a second goal.
Yeah, you're right. They're not killing time. They are. That was a mistake there. Let's see if SKC2 can get any kind of a buildup. That's really been lacking. It's been an organized buildup, and they've turned the ball over quite a bit in this half.
They certainly have. But I think that's credit to OKC. They've hunted them in midfield. They've won the ball. They've hunted them up front. They've got some dangerous turnover there as well.
Oh, good chance here down the right-hand side if they can get there. Centered. What's the ruling going to be? And it's going to be a corner kick coming up for OKC Energy FC.
They're claiming another handball there, but the referee's not buying it.
I don't know how the referee could have seen it. Rather, with the play going where it was, you see Stevenson, the substitute.
Oh, I tell you what, Graham Smith's left hand is there, but again, you cannot give something you don't see, and difficult for Greg Dubka, the referee, to see it from where he was.
And you know, he has an assistant there, but the assistant had a very clear view and did not say a word. So Daniels with another corner kick for the Energy. Not a lot of room to work there, so he'll go low and wide. Header, chance, no. Oh, how many opportunities OKC in the last 5 minutes. That ball just crawling across in front of the goal mouth. And now an Energy player unable to get up. Might be Lopez. We'll double check.
What an opportunity here. Headed across. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3 green and white shirts in the middle when this ball gets headed back.
Yeah, it was Rogers.
From Sam Rogers, yeah. Oh, what a chance. Is that Frankie Lopez again with,
cramping up, it looks to be.
It almost like he cramped as he went to hit the ball, because it was a yard out. I'm thinking this is a certain goal, and he just sort of fell over.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying maybe to clip it with his heel or the side of the boot, but obviously it didn't work out. There you see Chavez.
Yeah, it's time for a change, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's Lopez, again, you're going to talk about a guy who's given you everything it's humanly possible. The only thing he didn't get out of the night was a goal.
Well, he scored when they met and drew 1-1. So I'm sure he was desperate to try and score again here this evening. But you're right, he gave a fantastic effort. He really has put his body on the line here.
So while we have a moment, Energy fans want to remind you can visit any of the 9 Oklahoma City area Panera Bread locations for our creamy mac and cheese or the classic Bacon Turkey Bravo. Try the new Chipotle chicken and bacon flatbread pizza, or everybody's seasonal favorite, the strawberry poppy seed salad. These and other favorites are sure to have you cheering. Order online at PaneraBread.com for pickup or delivery right to you. Your favorites only at Panera.
I think Christian Dukes is having a word and saying, come on, we know this is time being wasted.
So Chavez is going to come in for Lopez. We've been calling that one for several minutes. And Charlie Ward will come out of the game, also for OKC. And that'll bring on Brad Dunwell.
Yeah, fresh legs. I'm just surprised that Sporting Kansas City haven't made more subs themselves. I think this is the right way to do it. It's been a warm night. Players have put in a good shift, and at some point you need those fresh legs on the pitch.
So Brad Dunwell out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. And into that wind, which you can still hear on some of the mics. So SKC has made 1 substitution. 34 Dominic Resitar has come in for Jake Davis.
What they do have with having Jaime Chavez up front is a target man that can just boot the ball long to.
Threat here. Roger Smith breaks through, but it's swept away.
And that was the new man, Resitar, who whipped that one across there, and Mushagalusa nearly got a strike on the end of that.
Nope, going the other way. That's not going to draw well with the SKC2 crowd, but the referee standing fast, and that was the right call. And the captain, Christian Duke, not overjoyed with that one. You take a good look there at Mitch Osmond, the Australian. And he hammers this one down there for Stevenson. And he cannot get enough of a foot on it to control it. It'll be another goal kick coming up for Brooks Thompson.
Well, that's fine. Long as OKC have SKC on the back foot, they'll be happy with that. The Greens, they just want to keep Sporting Kansas City in their own half and battling to get out. Look at the high press again. Oh. And it gives them a result. That has been the feature for OKC Energy in this match, I feel. They really have worked so hard, and credit Lee Wiedemann for making this team now a team that's winning games as opposed to struggling to draw. They've now potentially, if this result stays like it is, that's another 3-pointer, and up the table they climb.
They would move into 6th. After getting out of 8th, they went to 7th, and 3 points would make them in 6th.
And more importantly, just 2 points off that 4th position and that playoff position.
And they've managed to do it without Rob Coronado tonight, sitting out a 1-game suspension for 2 yellow cards in the victory over Memphis 901 FC.
So they get him back. I think it's a bit different for Sporting Kansas City. They have 4 matches in 11 days, and just chatting to Paulo Nagamura this afternoon, he says we're going to have to make some changes and rotations.
Mushagalusa, though, in dangerous territory inside the 18, trying to create, and he just took it out of the box, and the Energy just sweeps it away, and they'll happily concede a throw in here. Now we see Kobe Jones, number 49. He's about to come in. And Osvaldo Cisneros will come in, number 25. Cisneros will come in for Freeman.
Match is number 39. Petar Kucic. Replacing him.
And Kuic will step out for Kobe Jones.
Number 49, Kobe Jones. Sporting Kansas City 2 substitution, also in the 83rd minute. Leading the match, number 23, Tyler Freeman. Replacing him, number
It's exciting to see Cisneros, just 17 years of age. This is the talent coming through in this Sporting Kansas City setup.
There's Frankie Lopez, who's finally getting over to the bench after treatment for the cramps he'd been suffering. They may have to cut that jersey off. I don't know if he's going to be able to peel it off.
He's just taking some applause there. There's the hand goes up. He deserves it. He's put in such a shift, and I think the fans really appreciate it.
Well, you mentioned Cisneros is 17, as is Kobe Jones. Number 49. So playing at a high professional level, these youngsters getting an opportunity, and they really are. These guys won't be renting cars for 8 years.
I think we have to all keep that in mind when we look at Sporting Kansas City too, is that 5 of these kids started off with 5 teenagers. They've still got 5 teenagers on the pitch against a man's team. OKC have an average age of around about 25, 26. They've got Karimoto's 31, CJ Cochran 29, Zach Ellis-Hayter's 29, Mitchell Osmond 27. I mean, these are all mature men playing against 5 teenagers. So credit Paulo Nagamura on what he's doing, but somehow they just need to find that little bit more so they can get a better performance on the road.
CJ Cochran approaching back-to-back clean sheets, and it'll be his 3rd of the season for the For the W, the USL recently announced the formation of USL W League, providing increased equity and opportunity for women looking to pursue careers in soccer both on and off the pitch. Comprised of clubs from across the championship, League One, League Two, and new expansion markets. The W League is set to begin play next year in more than 30 communities across the United States. Head over to uslwleague.com and learn more. OKC looking to put this game on lockdown, and Thompson actually has to save it off the foot of his own teammate, but it wasn't that difficult for him.
Well, with just 4 minutes of regular time left from an SKC point of view, yeah, I was going to say knock it along. That's what you got to do now. I haven't got time to play through the middle. That's it. Win free kicks, win set pieces, bomb balls in the box, and see if you can get a lucky knockdown.
That would be heartbreaking for the Greens. They pretty much dominated this half. And the goal by Bijev on a PK at about the 45th minute.
Could have said it was a harsh penalty, I felt, especially with the rules having changed recently. And once again, just to mention that the USL plays off last season's rules, where the handball was a lot stricter. Now in the rules that FIFA have just changed, they do say that deflections near you, balls coming off players who are close to you and you haven't got time to move, that's not necessarily deemed as a handball anymore. And on top of that, the keeper made the save, Brooks Thompson, and Bijev did great to follow it up.
So big pressure now. Perhaps in the waning moments of this match, we'll certainly have some stoppage time because of all the medical maladies of Frankie Lopez. That's good position here for Smith. He tries to find an angle to shoot, and Cochran closed the door on him.
That's well done from Roger Smith. A couple of chances they have had have come from him early on in the game, and now this shot, but it's from a tight angle. Very difficult to beat a goalkeeper as good as CJ Cochran from that sort of angle.
Yankic. Just a little push from behind, but not enough to draw a whistle. Header on, look out here.
I think it's an offside given anyway.
That is correct.
But CJ was sort of stranded for a moment. Wasn't sure whether to come or whether to try and make that save. But have a look here at Roger Smith. Yeah, he goes on a tight angle, but it's at CJ and he can deal with it fairly comfortably. But you just wonder, could Sporting Kansas City have created a few more of those opportunities in this entire match? You know, there hasn't been that much from them in offense. And given that they have been scoring goals in the last 4 matches, you would expect a little bit more from them this evening. Again, perhaps it's unfair to pick on them. Perhaps it's fairer to say OKC have really defended well. They have worked their socks off up front and in every position. And I think Frankie Lopez probably, you know, shows that more than any other player on the pitch. He embodies it. He's just been absolutely wonderful this evening.
Long pass. Looking to connect. Cochran read that all the way. And we are going to get, I'm going to guess 4 to 5 minutes of stoppage time. But Cochran, end-to-end action on that one. He kicks it all the way out.
It's that wind you were talking about. If it gets behind you from a goal kick, it can go the full length of the pitch.
Well, we're going to get our first yellow of the match, the 90th minute.
Was that a handoff? I'm just wondering.
Barbier, yeah, he might have kicked him. I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't see it clearly, but Barbier is going to get the yellow card, the first one of the night.
Let's have a look and see if he puts his hand in his face or.
Number 33, Barbier.
I think that he has a bit of an elbow in the face, just trying to hold him off. But when you can't see who's behind you, you're not quite sure where your hand is compared to their face, and that was a little bit of a elbow to the head. Nothing meant, of course. Couldn't even see the player behind him.
Yeah, I suspect that was Barbier's argument, but it's an argument he lost. And against the wishes of the crowd, Sporting KC 2 wins that throw in, and the referee quickly trying to back up his assistant. In the meantime, OKC will make their final substitution of the match. Jonathan Brown will replace Aiden Daniels.
Aiden Daniels did really well, especially in the first half down that left-hand side, bombing up and down. Jonathan Brown, well, it's not much fun when you come on with a couple of minutes left. You're like, your coach, come on, put me on a little bit earlier, please. But
he doesn't have to shower. That's the good news. This extra time, which is 5 minutes, is brought to you by SSM Health St. Anthony. SSM Health St. Anthony is ready for you, for the game, for the team, and for the community. At a moment's notice, without hesitation, we're ready. We're proud to be the Energy FC healthcare partner. A few more minutes for the Energy if they can keep the door closed, which they've done so far. Well, that foul on Chavez caught the crowd off guard. Smith thought it was the right call. The thing, Gary, that I've noticed is I just don't know if I've seen any kind of organized buildup out of Sporting KC2. Is that fair?
yeah, not enough. I would agree with that. Around the edge of the box, they just haven't been able to come up with anything creative, anything different. And even now, with 3 minutes left, I'm thinking bomb the ball in the box. You've got to get it in there, because you can't score if you don't. You don't have to play pretty football, but they're still sort of trying to make things happen again. Musha Galusa way too deep for me. Let's see if they've got 2 minutes left now to do something. Let's see if they can, but I agree with you. Hasn't been enough in attack, and that should be a concern for Paulo Nagamura.
Christian Duke is going to play the full 95. And the Energy is killing valuable time, sending it down all the way to Brooks Thompson. That's a bit of a tough tackle there, and then a little shove afterwards, and Ellis Hayden got pushed. And no cards, but the referee letting the
OKC Energy FC number 22, Zach Ellis.
So Zach Ellis Hayden is the one who gets the yellow card in the 94th minute. Oh, and that's a little bit of a physical error, and all of a sudden, off the yellow card, a quick throw in here for SKC2. What can they do with it? Not much. And that was off the elbow. You could see that very easily hitting Kurimoto in the arm. So the final minute or so of this match will be a tense one for Lee Wiedemann and his staff. That's chipped into play. Cochran had it all the way. And you could see that C.J. Cochran read that beautifully. Never a threat to the veteran goalkeeper.
Yeah. Good hands, and he's getting a regular chance this season to show what a fantastic goalkeeper he is.
He's played every minute so far for the Energy.
In these last couple of games, as you say, clean sheets, good saves in both games, especially the last game. Absolutely brilliant. And that's what a goalkeeper wants. Make a couple of saves, keep a clean sheet, your team gets 3 points on the board. Happy days.
Stay. Duni, stay. Arun, stay.
Some last-minute instructions for Vasilovic from the bench. That should be a Greens throw in. It is. We are down to just a few seconds, it seems, for a second straight win for OKC. And there it is. OKC has picked up a second consecutive victory, and they defeat Sporting KC2 1-0 on the penalty kick by Viljan Bijev. And Lee Wiedmann now 2 wins and a loss, and that loss against the team at the top of the table. And our Mid-First Bank man of the match didn't make the scoring sheet, but he was everywhere tonight, and it's Frank Lopez.
I think that's a good choice. He worked hard. He put his body on the line. Yes, Bijev scored the goal, but it was a penalty. Bijev didn't necessarily make it, so he would have been another option. But this man embodied everything about a hard-working team that Lee Wiedmann's putting together. And the fans gave Frankie Lopez so much applause when he came off, and rightly so.
Yeah, the fans recognized the effort, and Lopez put a lot of pressure on Brooks Thompson, a lot of pressure on that back line. He and Graham Smith had a few memorable duels. Smith, a much bigger man, but Lopez played with enormous heart and intensity tonight, and that is the difference in this match, as OKC now goes to 2-4-4. Sporting KC2 drops to 1 win, 6 defeats, and 4 draws. It's the cool of the evening. Well, as much cool of the evening as you can have in this temperature. Settling in at Taft Stadium and a victory for OKC. We'll be back, review the result of this one, a victory, 3 points for the Greens.
Success is achieved through hard work, and many business owners work tirelessly for years to realize the dream of franchising their business. FFB partners with companies of all sizes every day and offers an extensive variety of treasury services. FFB will outline a plan just for you, help you streamline cash flow, and monitor your business transactions. Because we know you've got better things to do, like grow your business. FFB. We go where you go.
Real commitment doesn't stumble. It doesn't hesitate. It's ready at a moment's notice, on the sidelines and in the stands. It leans in and gets loud. We're ready for you, for our club, for our city, for whatever comes next. We're SSM Health St. Anthony, and we're proud to be the official healthcare partners of the OKC Energy FC.
Welcome to Loves. Here, technology drives us. That's why we research technology advancements in our own labs. It's why we're constantly developing new tools to improve the ways you move. Ways that lead to safer, more efficient travel. Here at Loves, we believe that technology drives us all forward. Loves, working to bring innovation to the highway.
So the OKC Energy pick up the 3 points tonight and move in 6th place in the Central Division. And just a couple of points out of that top 4 spot. Time for our Save of the Match, brought to you by SSM Health St. Anthony.
CJ making a brilliant save there. Roger Smith is through. It's 1-on-1. The big goalkeeper with his left size 10 boot makes a crucial save. They're gonna go, if they'd have gone 1-0 down in the 8th minute, it would have been a much, much different game, you would have thought.
So we run through some of the highlights we showed you. That was just in the 8th minute. What a different match this may have been had this shot gone in.
Yeah, again, Roger Smith. You might look back and think, could I have got it around the keeper? But to be fair, he does try to bend it around, CJ. Maybe could have pushed it further wide.
Now you could argue that might have been the most important minute of the match. Frankie Lopez with a steal, young Brooks Thompson with a save, and Lopez fired it, and my partner's opinion, maybe a little too quick.
Yeah, he had time. He maybe didn't know he had time, but he could have maybe gone around the keeper. Good save from Brooks, though. Jankic just caught in possession. This is the handball. It's a tough one. It really just bounces up. There's nothing that Christian Duke can do. It hits him, and as I said, I don't. If you were playing in the Euros today, I don't think that would have been given.
So on the rebound, Bijev with another goal. He's on a run of goals in 3 consecutive games. He picks up his 4th marker of the season, and that would be the only goal of this match, but there were chances.
There were, by the way, Brooks Thompson with a very good save from that penalty. Unlucky for him. This ball, Rogers with a header in. Frankie Lopez tries to do a back heel, and with that, I think he pulls hamstring, calf muscle, and everything else. The ball just wouldn't go in for him there.
One last chance for Sporting KC2. It comes once again, Roger Smith.
Yeah, tight angle. CJ's got it covered, but well done, Roger Smith. A couple of opportunities that came from him. Not much from the others, to be fair, including Musha Galusa, who was very quiet tonight.
Take a look at our full-time stats, and the shots virtually even, on target virtually even, possession actually favoring Sporting KC2, and each team getting a yellow card, but fortunately it was a clean match tonight, and happy to say that the referees were not heavily involved, although the handball call is the one that if you're a Sporting KC2 supporter, you're probably not at all happy with. First Fidelity Bank is proud to be an OKC Energy FC founding sponsor. Our 20 OKC Metro locations make banking convenient for you, especially when combined with our free worldwide ATMs, mobile banking, and mobile deposit. First Fidelity Bank. We go where you go. Visit ffb.com today. So next up for OKC's Energy, and they will take on Atlanta United 2. That'll be on the road. And Sporting KC2 in the middle of a long stretch of 4 games in 11 days. Will try to lick their wounds and come out with a better result next time. For my partner Gary Bailey, I'm Dave Lamont. We thank you for watching USL Championship Soccer.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.